Hello dear friends. Today we are going to talk about past simple tense. We use past simple tense when we talk about completed actions in the past. So you can see two examples here. The first one is I washed my car yesterday, and the second one is she ate pizza last night. So what do you think? What's the difference between these two sentences? Of course, in the first sentence we have regular verb, and in the second sentence we have irregular verb. So that's how to know. You have to know that when we make past simple tense, we use regular and irregular verbs. As for regular verb, we add ending ed or d if the word ends for letter e, of course. And according to pronunciation, it usually sounds like t, but if the word ends to the letter d or t, sounds like ed. For example, want, wanted, decide, decided. And for other verbs like walk, help, and agree, it sounds like walked, helped, and agreed. And about irregular verbs, we have to choose the second column of the table of irregular verbs. According to the grammar, let's talk about affirmative sentences. How do we make it? We start with subject plus verb in the past tense and complement. For example, Sally visited us last week, or I ran in the park. And about the negative sentence, we also use subject plus didn't plus verb in the base form. Did is the auxiliary verb of past simple. With help of, we can make negative and interrogative sentences. For example, Sally didn't visit us last week, or I didn't run in the park. According to the questions, we have yes-no questions and informative questions. For example, yes-no questions, we use did plus subject and verb in the base form. For example, did Tom visit you last week? So we can answer for this question like yes, he did, or no, he didn't. And about informative question, we use WH question plus did plus subject and verb in the base form. For example, where did you run last year? And this question asks us the full answer. Except auxiliary verb did, we also have the verb to be. As you know, in the present simple, we have three types of verb to be: am, is, and are. And in the past simple tense, we have two: was and were. Was we use with a singular verb, and were with a plural noun. Negative sentences use the negative form of the context whenever we use didn't. And we also can be was not or were not. And it shortly wasn't or weren't. And we will make a question. For example, we also have a yes-no question and informative question. In yes-no question, we use was, were, plus subject and complement, like was Iron in the house, or were they at the mall? And we also can answer for this question like no, she wasn't, or yes, they were. And in the affirmative question, we also use WH words plus was, were, and plus subject and complement, like why was Iron in the house, or where were you last night? And also these questions ask us the full answer again. If you understand the past simple tense and how do we make it, let's try to make some exercises. In this exercise, you have to put the words in brackets in the past simple form. For example, the first verb is go. What do you think? How do we change this verb? Right you are. We have to put went here, because the second form of the go is went. And it should be like, I went to the movies with Ed. The next sentence is, she decided to read the story. And we have to add D here, like she decided to read the story. In the third sentence, we hurried up doing the quiz. 4. They walked to school. 5. Sue played soccer. And the last one, my dog buried its bone outside. Well done, guys. Let's try to make other exercise. You have to read the sentence and rewrite them in a negative sentence, like my mom baked cookies cookies for the party. And for negative is my mom didn't bake cookies for the party. Right. Next one. Jim understood the exercise. What do you think? How is it changed? Right. Jim didn't understand the exercise. And next one is we were at the concert. And the negative form it would be we weren't at the concert. And the last one is I wasn't in the room with her, or I was not in the room with her. Now, you know how do we make past simple tense. Thank you for the lesson. See you next time. Goodbye.